Howdy, folks. Thanks for joining me. There we go. Howdy, folks. Thanks for joining me. All right. first one is I gotta take that one down just a wee bit. Oh no, I don't. That's actually just. Yeah, I better. Not. Okay. Yep. All right. How the heck are you now? Let's double check this dude. Groovy. As it should be. I don't even know why I checked it. I don't even know why. Okay. That guy. Five-eighths. 3/4 and 5/8. And this side. 5/16. 5/8. 3/4 and 3/4. Oops. Alright. The next one is 3. Done with all these. Ooh, almost nailed it. Too far back. Alright, so that's that guy. Yep. Oops. A little bit.
Left K14. Late time.
Late time. Yes, sir. was 2 3/4. Oop, wrong. Wrong measuring stick. Should be, ooh, I went 2 5. 2 3/4. That's a little fat. There we go. Pencil marks. Would normally do this while it's spinning, but this is cedar and it's just grabbing the ends of these. So I don't usually do this particular part while it's spinning with these dividers with soft woods like cedar and pine, because they get hung up. All right. Also the 2 3/4. Or was that 3? That was 3 actually. Yep. A little thin there. There we go. And I have rounded off the points on these, but this cedar just really grabbed it onto it. Okay, oops. That one's still go fast. Be one of those nice times to have those feeler fingers. I guess that will be maybe a thing in the future if I don't know. I'm starting to take on more and more production turning, so maybe it's worth the investment sooner rather than later.
That's all of it, all right? Whoops. Wouldn't match that way. Boom, 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 go. Let's get rid of the pencil marks.
Not square. Also not square. Okay, we do that first. Got to move the tool rest, turn off the lathe. I don't always do that, but it is a good practice. Okay. Let's grab this filler. Owie! I have a splinter. That's why that's been hurting. I had a larger splinter in there, and it looks like, let go, there we go. My skin did not want to let go of that. Little leftover, okay. Oh, well, I have plenty to play with then. Where's my knots? There's a knot. That's not very deep. Not on the end, not on the end. Okay. So I just need 24 inches. I've squared that end off. Way to go. Okay. You hold on to that. Just trimming this up to size exactly. I don't have a space to set up my chop saw, and it's kind of tucked away, kind of put away anyway. So I wound up hand sawing, which is not a big deal. I mean, geez, get a good saw, you can cut through stuff pretty quick. But I cut it a little long so I could square up the ends and get the exact length that I need for this baluster. Okay. Gee, Dave, why don't you do it this way? Here, make sure that it's not shining in my face. Okay, 5/16, bangity bang. 5/16, bangity bang. Okay. close to losing the pens. 5/16. 5/8. 3/4 and 5/8. And then from this side, 5/16, 5/8. 3/4, 3/4. Let's see, this one is also 3 inches. That's funny, it doesn't look the same. Looks like you got the one side on the wrong side. Alright. Now to this side. And that was 2 3/4. 3/4. There we go. All right. Oh, duh. I forgot that one. I should have left it at the 3 inches there. Bimbo. All right, where'd it go? Not you, sir. Although I will need that one. Gotta be. Lovely. Okay, pencil marks gotta go. Groovy. A little bit of cleanup here. Looking beautiful. That's beautiful. All right. Cool. That job is complete. I am digging that. I had started, I should have had all these done and turned in a couple hours this morning, but I could not do it. I had to go get some more stock. Well, anyway, we ran into some issues, and now they're resolved. So I can turn these two and the template back in tomorrow. The template, the original. Huh. Alright, so I think it should be right there. It's reasonably close. Yeah, we just have a little bit to sand. It'll be 10, all grown. Ouch. Want to roll. Okay. Bottom. Yeah, groovy. All right. That works. All right, be right back. Take these up, put them in the truck, ready for tomorrow. this away. I can take that off now. Oh, there's lots of cedar in the shop. It smells lovely, but it needs to be cleaned up. Okay, I need this guy. Set this aside for a sec. Oh my, I've got lots of cedar dust happening here.
Mav K14 said, "That's loud."
That could work. Yep, and it needs to come off now. No, they don't need it. Yes, it is loud. It's nicer when I have, which, oh, that's what I forgot to do today. I need to look up some noise canceling microphones to replace the ones that are no longer, for some reason, I don't know why, working with my Mac OS, and it could be Mac OS. Let's see, will that work? Well, no. Okay. So right now I'm looking for, that could work. Maybe I'm looking for some, oh wait, there's some of that too. Let me get tell you might work. Some good wood to create a stand, or a little holder for a tuning fork. Lignum might work. That's good hardwood, not that one. That's for something else. What else I got? What's this guy? Okay. Well, it's a stat, so I just need to make two of them. I'm working on a design for a tuning fork resonator. Well, that's actually long enough, but it'd be a pain in the ass to turn that beast. So you are the, ooh, you are the correct size. Yes, yes, he says. So I need to make, well, I think I only need to make one more, but I'm making two more. I have two of these little already carved resonator boxes. Turned and carved. And this is just proof of concept. I'm not expecting them to really resonate that well because this is pine, but I should still get something. The idea is really just exploring like how the design and coming up with it, getting it turned, how easy it will be to replicate, all of that. Because if and when they become popular, actually it'll be something else I'll have to work on getting a patent for. Okay, so I believe that this is just right, yes. But I am still going to snake it down just a bit. Let's check this guy. Sharp? Not so sharp. Trying to do a wee bit of honing. Cool. Maintain the edge, and it doesn't take long to dress it up when you need to. Okay, so these things are 1 inch tall. Which means I want to do that. Oh, and I also, come on, there. Need to get my Jacob's chuck. Okay, where did it go? There it is. And I will also, yep, Jacob's chuck first before we go any further there, Dave. Jacob's chuck, move that. You need the Jacob's chuck. You go get it, man. Okay, I believe this is the guy. Oh, it's over to your left, Dave. Okay, that should be correct. So, we'll put that in there. In a minute, open up the Jacob's chuck. I should have sized this correctly. Doesn't mean I did, though. You know, it's still just... So it's not 8 millimeter. What I'm trying to find is the right diameter, and it's like a specialty, and I may actually have it. Oddly enough, I just was trying to find out if it was actually a standard size hole, like 8 millimeter drill bit. I may have something in here, but maybe. Nope, not in this one. So I'm hoping I have it. This should be a little bit tighter fit. Let's see. What have we got here? Well, not 8 millimeter, that's for sure. I've got 5/16, and that is too small, as I recall. I've got a 7 millimeter. All right, I guess I'll need to experimentate just a bit. What's this guy? Maybe. That is just a shade under 8 mil. That is just a shade over. So that won't be it. This also. See, that's the thing. This was just. But not enough of a shade, apparently. Okay, so this is 7 mil. But this won't quite be it. It'll still be too small of a hole. Alright, thinkity think. What am I? That's crazy, man. You would think that they would want to make these a standard size because there are lots of those little stands floating around. Ooh, that might be it right there. Okay, glass plant drill bit. You're the right size. Cool. I think you're the right size. We're going to find out. And I don't need the tape on there any longer. Since I'm not going to be drilling that deep anymore, and now with this drill bit and this particular material. Alright, so how far did I get? Did I get 5/8? I got... Oh, okay, 9/16. I think I might have... We're taking this off. Let's see. So you'll be in there somewhere. Bummer. What can I use that for? Anything? Anything at all? Rather than just toss it about. I could shave that down if I need to, but it looks like it would fit. Alright. So that might become a mallet. Fair enough. Save that guy. For future
Hideous Astronaut
endeavors.
3i7 said, I viewers stream boo. Come.
Nice, man. Hey, thanks for coming to the channel. Thanks for sharing your offer there with me. My name's Dave. I'm a wood turner. Glad you stopped by. If you have an interest in wood turning, hang out for a while, man. I actually have earned a couple of viewers that way. Come in to just do their advertising, and then they wind up sticking around for a while. So welcome, welcome.
Mav K14 said, at Dave Rife is a cool smiling face with sunglasses. Guy.
Hey, thanks, man. Whoop. That's not gonna work. Holy mackerel, dude. That seemed awful large for the Jacob's check in question there. Let's see. Wrong direction. Maybe I can start a rock band called Wrong Direction. I guess it'd be a country band, whatever. Alright, try this again. Quarter, half, 9/16. Whoop, hey. No marks or scratches, good. I think that's the one. Yes, that's the one. That kicks ass. That's the one. Okay. Got it. Let's see. Let's put this... No, wait a minute. You came out of here. Yep. Because you are the 5/16ths. You were not going to work. Okay. So it holds it nice and tightly. Oh, I can be happy with that. What did I do with it? Ah, there you are. Oh yeah, I forgot to mark my end point here. And that will give me just enough. Okay. Just enough for one more out of this.
K14 said, system crashing too many ones.
Too many ones? Oh, geez, golly willikers. Sorry about that. I've been like moving cameras all over the place apparently. Oh, and I'm no longer that far away. Come on.
Mav K14 said, stream is over if the lathe breaks.
If the lathe breaks, yeah. Well, you missed that one. I actually had to replace the belt on this, and turns out Jet is not going to be carrying them anymore, so that's a part that's no longer going to be supported. But I found them elsewhere. Okay, so it would fit in there. I'll have to glue it in. But, yes, I'm loving it. Okay, so this guy, is that the right size? I mean, just. I think. It would be pushing it quite a bit. Well, maybe not. Would like to say I'm thinking out loud, but like I'm not letting the entire thought out in my voice. That's the guy. Okay, so that will fit. That was all I wanted to know. Was that so hard? It really wasn't that difficult for me. Why was it so difficult for you? Wrong way.
Said, it's one big fart.
It's one big fart. different. Times two different parting too. That should be good right there.
Mav K14 said, viewers don't be worried at Dave Rife talks about everything.
Yes, and I talk to my tools, I talk to the bees. Yeah, I tend to. That's why it's such great therapy for me, man. Well, that's not really why. That's one of the reasons why. And besides, if I want to teach, I got to be able. I got to be willing to talk, right? So I'm pretty sure I'm willing to talk. All right. Screw that up. Let's drill us another hole here. I'm really glad I found that I had a drill bit that was the proper size. This is a specialty drill bit meant to be used on a glass forming machine, which was made in France. So that's probably why I got lucky with this. Okay, now I can go 1/4, 2/4, 5/16. I don't really tap dance, sometimes I sing. That's probably wide enough for the bead. For a day, Beautiful. Alrighty then. Check the fitment for this guy. Oh, it goes right through. Wait a minute now, that was tight. Now it's not tight. I didn't do anything to that. You can clearly see I did nothing to that edge. I gotta turn another one. All right, let's find something suitable. Well, what do you know? I found it pretty quickly. Nice looking piece of beach there. I'm looking at you, man. There you are. Beech is a nice hardwood. A lot of tool handles made out of it in the turning world. I think perhaps in other places, not in the U.S. Although, I don't know, there might be some stands of beech in the U.S. I do think it's more prevalent across the pond, so to speak. You know, even though that wasn't the right diameter, this will still fit in there nicely. This is the one that will work, and that does fit in there nicely. So I see I'm going to have to change my design a little bit. That was an inch. Do I have? I know I got something slightly. What's my diameter here? Inch and 3/16. I think I've got an inch and an eighth. Oh, fuck. But I can't do that here. Sorry about the language, but I just realized I can't put this back on the lathe to drill a lip in that, and I'm not going to do it on the drill press because it won't come out true. Okay, so I need this guy. That's right, I did see. Okay. Easy there, killer. Jeez, oh Pete. I know I hit this somewhere. It does not seem to have left a nick in the blade, so it must have been along the side, maybe. Maybe that little nick is it. Boy, man, I hit that, though. So this is not... maybe it's that point. Dang you anyway. Fine, I'll just use my spindle gouge as a skew. How's that good? Yeah. Wee bit more. Let's go with this guy. without the handle. Vad är det för dödren? There we go. So I want it to tap in right there. Sweet. I want to mark that line. Do I need to mark that line? Let's see here. How about if I do, yeah, how about if I do that? That works for me. You know, that actually solves that problem. Kick-ass. All right. Nice. That was a nice solution to the issue. Now, I just need to slightly taper these so that they're twist fit. Yeah. Oh, no, I can't get it out. There we go. And then, yes, that's nice. What a lucky break. I am happy to report. There's 1, 2. Let's get this guy running true. Come on now. There you go. Anybody else have trouble with long shorts? Like they go just past the knee, and every time you bend over, it wants to pull your pants down because it gets caught like right underneath your knee in the back, and then right underneath the kneecap. So it kind of keeps every time you kneel down, it pulls your pants down. It's annoying. I hate long shorts. Long short legs, man. I don't know, what do they call them? They're not pantaloons. What do they call those? I know there's lederhosen, but that's a different thing because you've got socks underneath it, and then it kind of slides. I'm not wearing socks underneath. Maybe that's my fix. I guess. I don't know. All right, so I'm going for 1 inch. Like these styles, like I don't know, the fashion choices, whatever, of fashion companies, I don't understand why the shorts are made that way. No. We have to practice our modesty. Might have been that point. Still sharp, I don't know. Alright, now I need to mark this hole. If I can drill that. then one, two, 9/16. It probably doesn't need to be that deep either, but I'm just picking an arbitrary depth that isn't like all the way to the base. Kind of cool how a solution presented itself there. Go boom, yep. All right, let's see. Tuning fork. Nice fit. Perfect fit, I think. Yeah. And this, a simple, yeah, that's awesome. That is a hell of an idea. Having it like a bone. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful! Beautiful! And I can glue that into place. Let's see how this works. I don't expect it to really tone loud because, again, it's pine. It does tone. Let's see about setting it upright a little bit better. And I want to, there we go. No, don't want to set it on that. I am wrong. Okay, so the potential is there with the harder tone wood, so that's lovely. All right, so that is one test idea that I think is going to work out well. Now I need to go find some good tone woods. Yes. Playing around. Got to come up. Play around with ideas and stuff like that. I think it's a blast. All right, so that is what I have for this evening, folks. Not a lot of turning today. I've got some other things to attend to, but I will be back. I have a pretty good size spindle job coming up, and I'm not sure I'll be able to start it tomorrow, but I definitely will be starting it Monday. I'm going to stream several days next week just to run through all of the spindles, however long it takes. I got 2 weeks to do them, but, I don't need 2 weeks, but, when they bid the jobs, you never know what life is going to do and all that, so I got a little bit of extra lead time, so that works out. A little bit of extra lead time. All right, so for those of you who came in late, including Hideous Astronaut 3IK7, if you're still around, again, thanks for showing up. And Mav, always a pleasure. Glad I happened to be on stream when you were cruising the web, man. My name is Dave. I'm a woodturner. I started turning as therapy for PTSD. Found out I had a knack for it. Fell in love with it. I started teaching it. I really enjoy teaching wood turning. It's a blast. I think it's great. And I got started in beekeeping as therapy for PTSD, and fell in love with that. And now I teach that. Work with Heroes to Hives, and that's a blast. That's also a blast. So anyway, a lot of stuff going on. Bee season still happening. All that kind of stuff. So I'm in and out of the shop, but now that I have the art shows out of the way and stuff, I can start getting back to a little bit more normal day life, I guess. I'm not sure how to put that. Doing art shows, it's like, they all have their own specific hours. When they want you there, when you have to start, when you're allowed to break down, when you're allowed to set up, and blah, 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 blah. They're all different, so it's been an interesting couple of weeks going through those, and then, but a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. I got to talk to a ton of people about Heroes to Hives. As usual, a lot of people came by to see my stuff. I had some return customers, so that's always a pleasure. Sold out of all the honey I had, which was also very awesome. That hadn't happened before. First time for everything. Yeah. So anyway, working on getting back a little bit more normalcy, and I'll be streaming pretty much every day next week. So hopefully I'll catch you in and out. As you're going back and forth, we got to get through a bunch of those 180 spindles, and it's going to be a good time. Hope you join me. Thanks again for all your support, folks. Thanks for participating in chat. Hey, man, share the channel with your friends. Let them know it's another woodturner to check out. Anyway, I appreciate all the support. Thank you again, and I hope to see you soon. I will be back again. Let's see, I'm coming back Sunday, so Monday night will be my first stream day for the week, so hope to catch you then. Good night, folks. Thanks again.